Welcome to the third episode of the First Time Home Buyer series. So in this episode, we're going to be covering the third step in the process, which is budget and home search. So I know those are two different things, but they do go together. So now that we have the pre-qualification step taken care of, we know what you're qualified for. We know what you may be able to borrow. So let's say you're qualified for up to $300,000. Right? Now it's time to set that budget. So we may say, you know what, let's do a range of 200 to 300,000, or it depends on your needs. So you may be someone that you want to do a major renovation. So let's say you want to do a kitchen renovation, or you want to do bathrooms. You want to do something that's going to cost a lot because you want to make it your own, and you're going to be in this home for 5, 10, 15 years. So you can recoup that investment. Or you may say, you know what, I don't want to make any major repairs, I just want to move in. If it's minor stuff, I have to do like fixtures and things like that, that's cool, but I don't want to do any major repairs. Then we may adjust it to a more narrow search so that we can capture the homes that will most likely have the updated fixtures and the least things to repair. So two different ways to go about that. We'll set the budget, decide that. Once that's set, now we can talk about the fun part, which is the home search. So we have the MLS system, which is called the multiple listing service. So that's something that only licensed agents have access to, and it's accurate, up-to-date information versus the Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, and all these other websites that have listings, but they're not as up-to-date as the MLS. So we'll set up a search based on your needs. So talking about Hampton Roads, obviously we have 7 cities in Hampton Roads. So you may say, you know what, I want to be Virginia Beach. I don't want to look anywhere else, only Virginia Beach, that's it. Or you may say, you know what, let's do a search for Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake, because I work in Norfolk, and where I work is pretty central to those 4 cities. I can get to each of them in 20 minutes, so I just want to have options to choose from those 4 cities. Perfect. Either way we can do that. The MLS is very easy to work with as far as mapping out specific areas, specific neighborhoods that you may be interested in. So we'll set up the search based on your needs, and then you can get emails with updated listings every day. Maybe it's once a week. I wouldn't recommend doing the as soon as possible function. There is a function that you get them as soon as it pops up, but your inbox is going to be blown up and you don't want that. So what we usually do is once a day, probably at the end of the day. So we do it for like the afternoon. You'll get an email and it shows all the new listings that comes up. You can click on it, you can navigate in the portal and see the listing, see the price, see the features, and if you like it, you can let me know. You can communicate on there, leave a comment, like it, so you can see it later. It's very interactive, very easy to use, and that's the home search. So then you can start getting an idea of the kind of homes that you can get in those areas for the budget that we set. So that's the third step: budget, portal search. You get the home sent to your email daily or weekly or however frequent you want it, and then you can get an idea of what's on the market. And then it's time for the next step, which is the even more fun part, which is actually going to see these homes. So stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll be talking about touring homes in Hampton Roads. Stay tuned.